The man who sold a fake airport for $242 million. Nelson Sakaguchi, a banking executive from one of Brazil's largest banks, experienced a life-altering moment when he received a call from none other than the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The governor expressed a vision to propel the country forward by constructing an unprecedented major airport. The ambitious project carried a price tag of $242 million, and in return for investing in it, Nelson was promised a substantial $10 million commission. In a meeting held in London, Nelson encountered not only the governor, but also the deputy governor and the director of aviation. They meticulously presented business plans, divulged details, and delved into discussions about the entire infrastructure. Convinced by the comprehensive proposal, Nelson sealed the deal with handshakes all around, marking what seemed to be a home-run investment. However, there was a significant hitch. It was all a fabrication. This bewildering narrative unravels the audacious tale of how one of history's cleverest criminals, Emmanuel Nwude, orchestrated the sale of a fictitious airport for a staggering $242 million. Emmanuel Nwude's origins remain shrouded in mystery, with an assumed birth date between 1950 and 1955 in Lagos, Nigeria. Despite an uncertain upbringing, Emmanuel harbored grand ambitions from a young age. Driven by an unwavering desire to amass wealth and transcend the constraints of poverty. Gifted and intellectually advanced, Emmanuel recognized the world of finance as his ticket to prosperity. As a young adult, he entered the banking realm, quickly earning a reputation for his sharp intellect and adept navigation of the intricate financial landscape. Through diligence, perseverance, charm, and charisma, Emmanuel ascended the corporate ladder, eventually reaching the pinnacle as the director of the Union Bank of Nigeria. He had achieved considerable success, no longer living in poverty, and held the esteemed position of director in a reputable bank. Despite this, Emmanuel Nwude desired more, specifically, the kind of wealth that could afford him immense power and influence. Soon, he formulated a plan that he believed would secure his lasting legacy in financial history. In the early 1990s, Nigeria was undergoing a transformative period, having declared Abuja as its new capital. This decision spurred a wave of economic development, with large-scale infrastructure projects taking precedence. The Nigerian government's top priority was the construction of a world-class international airport, presenting Emmanuel with what he saw as a golden opportunity. Emmanuel conceived a cunning idea that would catapult him into the annals of notorious con men. His plan was to sell a fake airport, deceiving investors out of millions. Realizing he couldn't execute this scheme alone, he meticulously assembled a team of 5 individuals, each highly skilled in finance and banking. Leveraging their deep knowledge and connections in the financial sector, the team aimed to pull off what they considered the heist of the century. The intricate plan involved each team member impersonating high-ranking officials. Once roles and details were clear, it was time to set the plan in motion. The team initiated the scheme by sending carefully crafted faxes to banks worldwide. These faxes, posing as official letters from a fabricated Nigerian official named Teristio William, announced Nigeria's intent to develop a major airport project in Abuja, a city experiencing rapid growth since becoming the capital in 1991. After dispatching the faxes, the team patiently waited to see if anyone would take the bait. Time passed, and just when it seemed their ruse had failed, a fax arrived from Nelson Sakaguchi of Banco Noroeste, a major Brazilian bank. Nelson expressed keen interest in the proposal, stating that his bank had been actively seeking new investment opportunities. Emmanuel, with a sly smirk, called Nelson. To maintain the illusion, he pretended to be someone of great power, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Paul Oguma. This was an era before easy internet searches, providing Emmanuel the perfect opportunity to assume a powerful persona. Using charm and charisma, Emmanuel convinced Nelson that the deal was legitimate. To add an air of confidentiality, He insisted on a meeting location outside of Nigeria and Brazil, with London being the chosen venue. The team meticulously prepared for the meeting, with each member assuming the identity of a high-ranking official. To enhance their credibility, a limousine was sent to pick up Nelson at the airport, and he was accommodated in a luxurious 5-star hotel suite, courtesy of the supposed governor. As the meeting unfolded, each team member exuded charm, confidence, and charisma. Nelson bought into every word they said. Emmanuel stressed the need for confidentiality, revealing that construction wouldn't commence for another 4 to 5 years. Nelson assured them of the bank's readiness to transfer funds when the actual project began. However, Emmanuel, ever the smooth talker, insisted on immediate funds to kickstart planning activities, such as hiring companies and procuring tools and materials. Despite initial doubts, Nelson was reassured by Emmanuel that numerous investors were waiting, ensuring the project's swift completion. Regardless, Nelson felt the pressure of potentially missing out on a substantial investment opportunity. Despite his concerns about his bank's management not approving the deal, Emmanuel assured him not to worry. He proposed that they could approach other investors, but enticed Nelson with a tempting $10 million commission if he could resolve the issue independently. The prospect of such a commission sealed the deal, and they shook hands on a $242 million investment for the new airport, equivalent to approximately $413 million today. Before concluding their meeting, Emmanuel used his powers of persuasion to convince Nelson to transfer a $3 million deposit as evidence of his commitment to the project. Nelson, now committed, became unwittingly entangled in their scheme. Over the next 3 years, from 1995 to 1998, Nelson transferred the entire $242 million to Emmanuel and his accomplices. To cover their tracks, the team strategically spread the transfers across 17 banks in different countries, successfully avoiding detection by any bank management. Instead of indulging in lavish spending on cars and mansions, the highly intelligent team invested their ill-gotten gains in real estate across Nigeria and various global regions. They also purchased shares in multiple companies. To prevent suspicion, the team regularly sent Nelson fake documents and contracts related to their purported business acquisitions for the airport. The team had seemingly executed the heist of the century, building an empire of deception. However, their success was short-lived, and the beginning of the end was on the horizon. In 1998, Jamie Lopes, a director at Banco Noroeste, discovered that a third of the bank's capital, $242 million, had mysteriously vanished. Suspicions pointed to Nelson, who was summoned by the board of directors to explain. Nelson initially stalled, but under mounting pressure, he confessed to his involvement in the $242 million investment deal orchestrated by Emmanuel and his team. This revelation triggered an international investigation, marking the start of the third-largest banking fraud in history. The trail led back to Nigeria, but initial resistance from Nigerian banks, influenced by secret bribes from Emmanuel's team, hindered progress. Eventually, Western pressure forced cooperation from Nigerian banks, leading to the exposure of Emmanuel and his group. While Nigeria lacked robust financial fraud laws, 5 members of the team were arrested in 2004. The 6th member had mysteriously died in a car crash during the investigation, raising suspicions of foul play. Nelson, now facing charges of money laundering, was sentenced to prison for several years. Despite attempts by the bank's owners to recover lost funds, the majority of the money, invested in real estate and other ventures, proved unrecoverable. A change in Nigerian leadership in 2003 led to the establishment of a Financial Crimes Commission, resulting in the pursuit, investigation, and subsequent arrests of Emmanuel and his team. During the trial, Emmanuel resorted to bribery, attempting to influence officials and jury members. His escape plan, involving a fake bomb threat, failed, and negotiations for a reduced sentence in exchange for a partial return of stolen funds proved unsuccessful. In a surprising turn, a witness, Nelson, took the stand, providing detailed insights into how Emmanuel and the team deceived him. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Emmanuel agreed to pay $120 million of the stolen money and a $10 million fine to the Nigerian government. Despite being sentenced to 25 years, he managed to use his cunning to spend less than 2 years in prison and recover nearly $50 million from his real estate properties. In 2016, Emmanuel faced new charges, this time for murder, stemming from a land dispute with a neighboring town. He orchestrated an attack, resulting in the death of a security guard and the shooting of police officers. Currently in custody awaiting trial, Emmanuel's history suggests that he might attempt another escape using his notorious bag of tricks. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video enjoyable, kindly hit the subscribe button and activate post notifications. Your support means a lot, and I have more entertaining content on the way.